Am I still on here? Still on? Woohoo! Hey, everybody. Took me a while to get set up today. Leslie, Bilodeau, Plazz here. Zazoo, Plazz in the frozen tundra, Connecticut. We've had a major snowstorm here, but it's so beautiful out here. It took me till after 6 o'clock to get out here. I can show you. I don't know if you could see. There's I'm out here behind the school, behind my house, and it's kind of nice in a way. The snow provides a nice little stand for my camera. But, you know, I got out here and I was down there at my usual spot. So many nice stars. And then my lantern just totally went out. It just went. So then I said, oh no, because I was in the dark, you know. Then I had to walk. I walked all the way back there toward the playground, and it was too bright, And then I walked all the way back here, and then all of a sudden my light went back on. It's like a miracle. So, oh, it's beautiful out here. Just me in the woods. Everybody's in their houses watching football or something, watching TV. My husband's making, I don't know, in the kitchen making something. You know, I don't like hanging out in the kitchen together because, you know, maybe it's the fire and all that. It makes for, last night I made a big pot of cassoulet, which is a French dish. It had chicken, and I thought I bought the chicken thighs, the boneless ones, but I got the kind with the bones, and I hate bones. I hate pits, bones, anything like that. So I'm like swearing I could, you know. So then I had to get the meat off the bones. There was hardly any chicken left, and because my usual delivery service didn't bring the chicken, so I had to go in person. And when I go in the store in person, I get all distracted, and I usually get the wrong thing, and it's just a mess. All the dogs are at it today. All the dogs are barking. So, yeah, what am I talking about today? I know. Get to the point, Zazoo. This week I was so proud of myself. I finished the banner for my Zazoo Plazz pop culture party Facebook group that I'm going to launch soon. And oh, it's awesome. I had so much fun doing it. And I have a few tweaks, but I'm going to, you know, I got a picture of myself when I was a baby with a little party hat. This is the kind of stuff I really have fun with, you know. So yeah, as I was saying, I'm going to put my glasses on so I can read what I wrote here. Yeah, so as I was saying, you know, the kitchen is in a good place. Because I remember when I was a kid, you know, and maybe that's what it all comes back to. Oh, there's a plane coming into the airport, really close. Oh, see? You could see it right there. There's my flight. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. Hey, come and get me. I need a vacation. I remember, you know, my parents would be making a meal or something, getting ready, and my dad would be doing whatever, trying to be helpful, and my mom was clearly in charge, you know. She'd say, Ray, no, don't put it there. Don't put that there. Put it over here. And I was going to make this, and I was, you know, and you know, my poor dad, he would always be trying to help and somehow never doing the right thing. And, you know, he'd put the cups in the wrong place, and she'd, you know, so whatever. But it always seemed like the kitchen was a hotbed of creativity, let's call it that. And I like to be peaceful in the kitchen. I like to go in the kitchen and create, and I don't get stressed about it. I love food. I love entertaining, and when I had my own place for a while there, I would have friends over, and that's my ideal, is to just, have friends over and entertain and enjoy them and enjoy the food. And when you live with someone who is, my husband and I, we have different approaches in the kitchen. I like things to be super clean, and as I cook, I put things away. And, I like to have a super clean kitchen. And I like, relaxing. With him, it's like, and I think what it comes down to is, I have a very, detached, sort of easygoing attitude toward food preparation. It nourishes me, and I like to look outside. But with him, it's, if he's making chicken nuggets for the kids, he can't talk, I'm making chicken nuggets, and he clatters all the pans, and oh, geez, sorry, and he's clattering the pans, and I'm making chicken nuggets, I can't talk right now. So you see, this is why I'm out here in the woods. This is a 5-day. I had to get out of the house. We just have very different approaches to food preparation. And maybe it's that I just can't be in the kitchen with anybody. There was this one time, I was still living at home. I think I was in college, home on a break, and one of our family friends was over, who was a friend of mine, but his parents were friends with my parents down in Rhode Island, and he was a Virgo. He was the guy I used to, when I came home from the chickadee, oh, there's some more stories here. I used to work at this little sandwich shop called the Chickadee down in Rhode Island, at the Rhode Island shore, the summer before college. Anyway, and I used to come home, I think I wrote about this in the book, I used to come home every night smelling like a fryer, and then I would take my clothes and wash them in the tub, because we were at the beach, and hang them up to dry, and put them on the next day, because we didn't have a washing machine down at the beach. So I came home, I think I told this story before. I came home one time and I found him, because he had a sister, he was washing out my clothes, he was in the tub, and I freaked out. I freaked the heck out. So there was this time he was over, and he was in the kitchen with my mother, and I just wanted to just prepare, I was making coleslaw. And they were just, they were just, I just needed a moment, And somebody, he and I we really didn't get along. Virgo's in my 12th house. Anyway, so I took the bowl of coleslaw. He was just grating on my last nerve. And I took the coleslaw, I took the bowl, and I dumped the coleslaw on the ground. It felt so good. Okay, so, sometimes in life, you've got to throw coleslaw. You've got to just do something, So, I'm coming out here, and it's like me throwing the coleslaw. I cleaned it up. It was just one of those things where, do you ever feel like you just want to go do something wild? For me, it's throwing the coleslaw. But, walking out here, the most natural thing in the world to be out here for me, you know, under the stars. And yet, part of me says, why are you still doing this? Why are you doing this? You know, you gotta stay in your little suburban house and be the good little mommy and the good, my kids are grown. They're grown. What, why, there's part of, you know, so this is the time, you know, the readings today, they're all my favorite ones about, you know, if you're doing things, you're doing them without love, how you're going to be a, you know, a symbol. Well, they did that reading at our wedding. You know, the love is patient, love is kind one. You know, and at the time I thought, oh, geez. we had this thing, we put it on, we printed out that Corinthians verse and we put it on the wall next to the bathroom. So what usually happens is I get, every time I want to go in the bathroom, we have one master bathroom. My husband shows up out of nowhere and sneaks in there before I can get in there. And okay, so these are the times when it is very hard to listen to Corinthians telling you that love is patient, love is kind. Because I'm telling you, you know, every darn time. And you get to the point where it's like, is he doing this just to spite me? Does he really, you know? And then I find myself longing for the days when I just had my own bathroom. I can't even remember when that was. But, you know, that for me, heaven would just be to have my own bathroom. You know, and the thing is, our bathroom, which is in the relationship part of the house, has not been renovated since we moved in 1997. And then at some point I ripped off the stupid wallpaper and there's just, you know, pencil lines going across the top of the room, and there's big spots everywhere, and it's rust and things falling apart. So, you know, this is what I have to look at every day. And I said, let's do the bathroom. No, we can't do the bathroom yet because we've got to do the downstairs first. Okay, let's do the downstairs. Well then, no, because I have to go da-da-da-da-da-da, and I have to go help da-da-da-da-da, and I have to go da-da-da-da-da. So, you know, you get to the point. It's like, I need to, because every now and then, I've got Uranus conjunct Pluto across from Saturn. There's a time for being conservative and there's a time for action. All right? There's a time to go with the flow and the time to throw the coleslaw. And damn it, it's time to throw the coleslaw. Right? How do you know you're alive, right? You're going about your daily life and you're clanging like a cymbal, you know? Clang, clang, clang. Are you going to a job that you used to love, but now you're just going through the motions just to pay the bills? Clanging cymbal, right? It's not just love like in relationships. It's, do you love where you live? Do you love where you work? You know, do you love your life? I love doing this. I love speaking. I love writing. I love discovering things about myself. Like, before I came out of here, I had that song, And She Was. You know, it's been in my head for 2 days. The one by the Talking Heads, 1985, where she's, you know, she's in her suburban house. You know, watch the video, and she's rising, right? This woman, she's rising out of her boring life. She's floating above the neighborhood. She can see the neighbors' houses. She's floating into the universe. Aquarius, man, if there was ever an Aquarius song, it was that. That was, oh man. And every day I think I would like to just be floating above my neighborhood, looking down, you know, just floating you know, not having to make anybody dinner or clean anybody's dirty underwear or, you know, walk through my crappy living room where there's boxes and there's stuff that I don't even know what it is. There's chairs falling apart that you used to be able to sit in that have, you know, like parts on the bottom falling off, and you know, there's like half, you know, there's a pewter set that I've been trying to get rid of. You know, salt and pepper shakers that I hate because they're pointy and they look like they, you know, you could jab somebody in with them. And I hate pewter. I want to get rid of it. It's gray. It's gross. I'm surrounded by grayness. And I am not a gray person, right? I want brilliant color in my life. You know, in my mind, I dream in color. I like, when I was a little girl, all right, so when I was a little girl, I used to read Little House on the Prairie books. My mother would read me those books before bed, even when I could read, which was from like age 4, you know, and it sounded so cozy. They had their little house out in the woods in the snow, and Pa would come in with the icicles coming off his beard, and, you know, they'd sit by the fire, and, you know, Ma would have dinner there, and nobody was, you know, fighting. Just, you know, Pa would come home with the meat, and Ma would cook it up, and nobody got in Ma's way. She didn't have to throw coleslaw at anybody because Ma did Ma things and Pa did Pa things, and Pa wasn't always telling Ma, you know, how to do stuff, and, you know, Pa wasn't always like running off to see his mother 3 times a week, and, you know, leaving Ma all alone in the house in the big woods. You know, Pa did Pa things. He brought in the wood and, you know, played horsey with the kids or whatever, you know. And then he got the hell out. Pa didn't walk around all day in his pajamas with his, you know, sitting in his basement office that you can't go in. No. Pa went out and bagged a deer and came home. I'm just saying. Okay. So what I envision to be, you know, it was how my grandmother grew up. My Granny Bilodeau. Her birthday was this past week, January 26th. She would have been 120 this year. So, you know, I guess I channel Granny at this time of year. I think, you know, people need to get out of each other's way. You know, that's very Aquarian. You know, it's not that I don't like people. It's not that I don't love my family. You know, it's, you know, Jesus said no prophet is respected in his home place. You know, he would get up there and speak. He'd say, physician, heal thyself. You know, he had to go. He had to get on a plane. No, he didn't get on a plane. But he had to, you know, get out of his home place because people were saying, well, this guy seems to know. You know, what does he know? He's, you know, Joseph's son. He grew up, you know, down the... I found online this week, I found a community of my elementary school. People have a Facebook page for my elementary school, which was named after a fox, Sly School. And we had, the mascot was a fox. They tore it down in the 80s. So all these people are still on the Facebook page going, I miss our school. I miss it too. You know, it's just, they said, oh, you've got to give up the childish things, you know, and when you're a grown up and you get, but I don't think that's what the scripture means. Here I am, I live next to an elementary school. I have in my head, I go to my elementary school. It was great. I think what it means is that when you're a child, you don't you can't take responsibility for yourself, you know? Something makes you cry, you know, other people are responsible for you. But when you're a grown-up, it's not that you can't have the enthusiasm of a child and be comforted by the things that comforted you as a child. It's that you comfort yourself. You don't expect it to come from someone else, right? So it makes me feel happy to come out here in the woods and talk, because this is what I need, and this is where I get it. You know, I don't expect that someone's going to say, let's sit down and you just tell me what's on your mind. Because that's never going to happen. I've been trying for 26 years. And, you know, there are some things that you just you can't expect from a partner, from somebody else. There's some things, you know, that you have to give yourself. You know, for me, it's talking to the world in general. You know, if you're, you know, I have a partner who is, he's much more, you know, I guess he's a wonderful family person, but I feel like I have a bigger audience. I need an audience. And it's not just something I need for myself. It's that I feel a calling to speak to the world. I feel a calling to go out and speak and write and do all of those things. You know, if I were to just go home and close my mouth and not do this anymore, I would feel it. It would, you know, I need to, this is my light. This is my light that I'm bringing to the world, right? So, that's why I continue to do this every week. Because in some strange way, I feel like I bring my light to the world. And hopefully, you know, lift others up with my humor, with my stories. Maybe, you know, something I say will make your day. I hope. I hope just hearing about my adventures gives you a smile, puts a smile on your face, and I had a wonderful surprise today. You know how when you're looking for something, you can't find it, you put it out there, and then one day you just find it. So I put it out there. I know, well, I'm running out of time here. I know that my mom had packed away the list of the people that I went to Spain with back in 1985. I couldn't find it. And there were some pictures of me in my black and white polka dot dress from the 80s that I write about in the book, with the little red necklace, and I have all the names of the people that I went to Spain with, which is I've been looking for forever. I got all my photo stuff to start scanning my photos and putting them all together. And I opened the shoebox. Something said, "Look, open the shoebox." So I opened it, and out comes my letter of acceptance into the Spain Abroad program, and a list of all the people I went with, and a postcard I had sent my parents that was, you know, in Spain, Madrid, that showed the route that my little bus took to school every day. And I'm writing about my day, and, you know, I had sent it as soon as I got there. So I was so excited. That was like, that just made my day. It made everything else seem, it's those things that make me feel like I'm on the right path. All the other stuff is happening around me. Look for the thing that when it happens, like, you find something that you thought was lost forever, and you find it again. It's like finding yourself again, right? Look for yourself. Go and look for something that reminds you of the person that you always liked, that the person that you used to be, that you respected. Not the person who, is inwardly seething and thinking, I really want to say something right now and I can't say it because I have to, tiptoe around. Don't be that person. That's not good. This is the time. Do the thing that lights you up. Go grab your light. Go grab your lantern. Do it. So, from Zazoo, I officially can't feel my feet, so I'm going to go in and, although I have my snow pants on, I've got like 15 layers of clothes on. I'm going to go grab a cup of tea. So, Zazoo Plazz from the big woods, not Wisconsin, but Connecticut, signing off, wishing you much love and much light and much warmth. Until next week, bye-bye.